When you look at the people who rise, who break limits, who build extraordinary lives, there's always one thing they have in common. They learn to control the four forces that shape every decision, every result, every destiny, their mouth, their mood, their money, and their mind. Most people live life on autopilot. They speak without intention, react without awareness, spend without discipline, and think without direction. And then they wonder why they feel stuck, stressed, or powerless. But the truth is this: your life changes the moment you decide to take ownership of these four things. Because when you master your mouth, you control the energy you release into the world. When you master your mood, you control your emotional state and your ability to act. When you master your money, you control your future instead of being controlled by fear. And when you master your mind, you control the story that shapes your entire destiny. This video isn't just motivation. It's a wake-up call. A reminder that the power you're searching for isn't out there, it's inside you. And today, you're going to learn how to unlock it. Let's begin. Your words are the first builders of your reality. Every sentence you speak is either creating momentum or destroying it, either pulling you forward or holding you back. Most people talk without thinking, reacting from emotion instead of intention, and they never realize their words are programming their mind, shaping their identity, and influencing how others respond to them. The moment you speak, you're planting seeds. Some seeds create growth, opportunity, and confidence, and others create doubt, chaos, and limitation. The difference between a person who rises and a person who stays stuck off comes down to how they use their mouth in the moments that matter. When you speak emotionally, you give your power away. You say things you don't truly mean, you create damage you later have to repair, and you reduce your own influence. Think about the times you reacted in anger, frustration, or fear. Those words didn't just hurt others, they shaped how you saw yourself. Every emotional outburst trains your brain to respond the same way in the future. But when you speak intentionally, you reclaim control, you pause, you breathe, and you choose language that builds clarity instead of confusion, solutions instead of problems, growth instead of regret. Your words are also commands to your nervous system. When you say, I can't, your body shuts down. And when you say, this always happens to me, your mind searches for proof. When you say, I'm done trying, your energy collapses. But when you speak powerfully, I will figure this out, I'm stronger than this. I'm committed, not interested, your entire physiology shifts. Your shoulders rise. Your brain activates new possibilities. Your emotions follow your language. Change your words, and you change your internal state instantly. But it goes even deeper. Your words shape your relationships, your reputation, and your level of influence. People trust those who speak with clarity. People follow those who speak with certainty. People respect those who speak with intention. If you want to be a leader in your family, in your business, or in your own life, you must master your mouth. That means learning to communicate calmly when you're triggered, honestly, when you're afraid, and respectfully even when you're challenged. Strength is not in raising your voice. Strength is in raising your standard for the words you allow yourself to use. And the truth is, you can always tell the direction of someone's life by the language they use daily. People who constantly talk about problems attract more problems. People who speak in excuses live within their excuses. People who use empowering language take empowering actions. Your words are your compass. They determine whether you move toward growth or stay stuck in patterns that don't serve you. So make a decision today. Your mouth is no longer a weapon against your future. It's a tool for shaping it. Choose language that elevates you. Speak words that align with the life you want, not the emotions of the moment. When you master your words, you master your world. Your mood is not something that just happens to you. It's something you create, moment by moment. Most people wake up and let their environment decide how they feel. They let the weather, a text message, someone's tone, or a small inconvenience dictate their entire emotional state. And when you surrender your mood, you surrender your power. The truth is, your mood is a choice. And the second you understand that, your life begins to change. Because when you control your state, you control your decisions, your actions, your relationships, and ultimately your destiny. Your emotional state is the foundation of everything you do. If you're in a low mood, stressed, angry, or overwhelmed, you make small decisions, defensive decisions, decisions based on fear. But when you're in a peak state, energized, grateful, confident, you think bigger. You solve problems faster, and you move with power instead of hesitation. Your life is shaped far more by your state than your circumstances. Two people can face the same challenge. One falls apart, the other rises. The difference isn't the problem, it's the state they choose to meet it with. And yes, it is a choice. You have the ability to shift your mood instantly through your physiology, your focus, and your meaning. Change your breathing, and your mood changes. Shift your posture, and your energy changes. Focus on what's working instead of what's missing, and your emotions rise. Tell yourself a different story about what something means, and your entire state transforms. You're always one decision away from a different emotional reality. The problem is that most people never train themselves to access that power. They let old patterns and automatic reactions run the show. But just like any muscle, emotional control grows with repetition. When you start your day by choosing your mood through movement, gratitude, intentional breathing, or empowering language, you set the tone for everything that follows. You become less reactive and more intentional. Instead of being pushed around by life, you begin to influence life with your energy. People feel your presence. Opportunities open because of your attitude. Challenges shrink because you meet them from strength, not weakness. Your mood also determines how people respond to you. Think about the leaders, coaches, or mentors who inspired you. They didn't just have knowledge. They had emotional mastery. They walked into a room with certainty, passion, and purpose. Their mood was contagious. And the truth is, your mood is contagious too. You can lift a room or drain it. You can inspire your family or frustrate them. You can elevate your dreams or sabotage them. Every day, with every mood, you're either adding fuel to your future or pouring water on your fire. So make a decision today. Refuse to let the world dictate how you feel. Refuse to hand your emotional state to circumstances you can't control. Choose your mood before the world chooses it for you. When you master your mood, you master your energy. And when you master your energy, you master your life, because everything begins with your state. The moment you shift it, everything around you begins to shift as well. Money is one of the greatest tests of discipline, clarity, and emotional control. Most people don't have a money problem. They have a pattern problem. They react to money instead of planning for it. They spend emotionally instead of strategically. They chase quick rewards instead of long-term stability. And then they wonder why money feels stressful, unpredictable, or out of reach. The truth is simple. Either you master your money, or your money will end up mastering you. Money is a tool, but if you don't control it, it becomes a trap. If you don't lead it, it will lead your life into frustration, fear, and dependence. Mastering money starts with understanding that wealth is not built on how much you earn. It's built on how you manage what you earn. You can make a little and build an extraordinary life, or make a lot and constantly feel broke. Money responds to discipline, not income. Start by knowing exactly where your money goes. Most people avoid looking at their finances because it feels uncomfortable, but that avoidance is the very thing keeping them stuck. Awareness is the first step to mastery. When you track your spending, you expose your patterns. When you see your patterns, you can change them. The second step is shifting from emotional spending to intentional investing. Every time you spend money emotionally for comfort, for escape, for quick pleasure, you trade your future power for temporary relief. But when you invest intentionally into your growth, your skills, your saving, or your future, you trade temporary comfort for long-term freedom. That's how wealth is built. Not through luck, not through magic, but through consistent choices that align with the life you want, not the mood you're in. Another part of money mastery is breaking the belief that money is a source of stress. Money is neutral. It's your story about money that creates stress. If you believe money is scarce, you'll behave from fear. If you believe it's impossible to grow, you'll stop trying. But if you believe money is a tool, a resource, you can learn to manage, build, and multiply. Then you step into a mindset of possibility and responsibility. You can't create abundance from a mindset of fear. You can only create it from a mindset of ownership. And then there's the long-term game. Mastering money isn't about getting rich overnight. It's about creating a future where you're not controlled by bills, debt, or uncertainty. It means building savings not as an emergency plan, but as a power plan. It means eliminating debt step by step so you can free your energy. It means investing consistently, even in small amounts, so your future. Self doesn't have to fight the same battles you're fighting today. Most importantly, mastering your money is about stepping into the identity of someone who takes responsibility for their life. Every financial decision is either building your freedom or limiting it. Every dollar is a vote for the future you want. The moment you stop letting money dictate your emotions, your confidence grows. The moment you stop reacting and start planning, Your direction becomes clear. Money mastery isn't about the money, it's about the freedom, the options, and the power it gives you to live life on your terms. Decide today that you will lead your money instead of being led by it. Because when you master your money, you gain something far more valuable than wealth. You gain control of your future. Your mind is the command center of your entire life. Everything begins there: your beliefs, your decisions, your emotions, your habits, your identity, and ultimately your destiny. Most people never realize that the mind is always being programmed, either by them or by the world around them. Every thought you repeat, every story you believe, every piece of information you consume becomes a blueprint for how you live. And if you don't take control of that blueprint, your mind will run on old patterns, old fears, and old limitations that were never designed to help you grow. What you feed your mind is what your life becomes. If you constantly feed it doubt, you will live cautiously. If you feed it fear, you will live small. If you feed it negativity, your energy and actions will match that negativity. But when you feed your mind empowering thoughts, strong beliefs, and bold visions, you reshape the way you see yourself and the world. Your mind doesn't care if a thought is true or false. It becomes true for you the moment you believe it. That's why the quality of your mental diet is just as important as the quality of your physical diet. You can't expect a powerful life from a mind filled with toxic information. Your internal dialogue is the most influential voice you'll ever hear. The words you repeat to yourself become instructions for your nervous system. Tell yourself you're incapable, and your brain will stop looking for solutions. Tell yourself you're powerful, and your brain will activate the resourcefulness to prove it. The stories you tell yourself become the limits you accept, or the possibilities you chase. That's why you must consciously choose the thoughts that align with the person you want to become, not the person you've been in the past. But controlling your mind doesn't happen by accident, it happens through conditioning. Just like a muscle, your mind grows stronger through repetition. If you want confidence, you must feed your mind reasons to believe in yourself every day. If you want peace, you must feed it calm, gratitude, and perspective. If you want success, you must feed it discipline, focus, and possibility. What you do consistently, not occasionally, determines the identity your mind accepts as truth. And once your mind accepts a new identity, your actions automatically begin to align with it. The challenge is that your mind is always listening to the people around you, to the environments you visit, to the media you consume. If you surround yourself with negativity, gossip, fear, and complaining, your mind absorbs it like a sponge. You don't rise to your highest potential while living in a low-energy environment. You must become intentional about what enters your mental space. Protect it like your most valuable asset, because it is. When you take control of what you feed your mind, you take control of your life's direction. You start thinking with purpose. You start making decisions from clarity, not confusion. You start seeing opportunities where others see problems. You begin to act from strength instead of insecurity. Your entire world begins to shift because your mental foundation has shifted. The truth is simple. Your mind becomes what you consistently feed it. Feed it weakness, and your life weakens. Feed it strength, and your life strengthens. Feed it possibility, and your life expands. Your mind is the command center. Master it, and you master everything. When your mouth, mood, money, and mind move in different directions, your life becomes chaotic. You feel pulled apart, overwhelmed, inconsistent, and out of control. But the moment you align these four forces, everything begins to transform. Alignment creates power. Alignment creates clarity. Alignment creates momentum. Most people try to change their life by fixing one area at a time, but real transformation happens when all four work together like gears in a powerful engine. When your words match your emotions support your decisions reflect your financial discipline, and your mind reinforces the beliefs that keep you moving forward. You become unstoppable. Start with your mouth. The language you use should reflect the life you want to build, not the emotional storms you experience. If your mouth speaks negativity, but your mind wants success, there's a conflict. If your words say, I want to change, but your habits say, I'm not willing, you create friction instead of flow. Alignment begins when you speak with intention, when your words support your goals instead of sabotaging them. The right words shape the right emotions. Your mood is the next gear. You can't speak powerfully and then live emotionally drained. You can't say you want discipline but walk around reactive, frustrated, or low energy. Your mood must match your mission. When you maintain a high state through gratitude, movement, purpose, and awareness, you fuel your words with real conviction. Your energy becomes the driving force behind your action. A controlled mood creates consistent behavior, and consistent behavior creates predictable results. Then comes your money. Your emotional state influences your financial choices more than anything else. If you're stressed, you'll overspend. If you're bored, you'll buy things for temporary relief. If you're insecure, you'll try to impress others with things you can't afford. But when your mood aligns with clarity and stability, your financial decisions begin to reflect long-term thinking rather than short-term emotional impulses. When your words say, I'm disciplined, your emotions say, I'm steady, and your money habits say, I'm in control, you step into a level of power most people never touch. Finally, your mind ties everything together. Your mindset is the operating system behind your mouth, mood, and money. If your mind is full of chaos, fear, or negativity, it will create imbalance in every other area. But when your mind is conditioned for growth, when you feed it strength, when you give it empowering meaning, when you train it daily, you create alignment automatically. Your thoughts support your feelings. Your feelings support your decisions. Your decisions support your outcomes. Everything flows. Alignment turns life into momentum. You're no longer fighting yourself. You're no longer trying to push uphill with inconsistent habits. You move with purpose. You speak with clarity. You feel with control. You act with discipline. You decide with confidence. And money becomes a reflection of your identity instead of a source of fear. This is the formula for an unstoppable life. Speak what you want. Feel what empowers you. Manage your resources wisely. And train your mind to support your highest standard. When all four align, you don't just make progress, you become a force. When you step back and look at your life, everything you want, peace, success, confidence, freedom come. Down to the choices you make in these four areas, your mouth, your mood, your money, and your mind. These aren't small details. They are the pillars that determine the quality of your life. Most people try to change their circumstances without changing themselves, but real transformation begins within. When you speak with intention, when you manage your emotions, when you control your financial habits, and when you train your mind to focus on what empowers you, you build a life that is strong from the inside out. This journey isn't about perfection. It's about direction. Every day you get another chance to speak better, think better, feel better, and make better choices. You don't need massive leaps, you need consistent alignment. And the moment you decide to take ownership of these four forces, you stop living reactively and start living intentionally. You stop surviving and start leading. You stop hoping and start creating. Remember this, nobody can truly control your mouth, your mood, your money, or your mind except you. That means the power has always been in your hands. The life you want is not out of reach. It's one disciplined decision away. Choose alignment. Choose growth. Choose the strongest version of yourself. This is how you build an unstoppable life. And it begins the moment you decide to take control.